What has been the biggest challenge that's really come with like the fame of all of this?
I think losing a little bit of your anonymity, feeling like you've lost a little bit of yourself.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think Johnny has said to me many times, and it's really touched me. He said, I live my life behind windows, whether it's car windows, plane windows, hotel windows. And, I think until it happens to you where you become, quote unquote, famous, you don't realize and appreciate the normal things that we all get to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like go and have a meal with somebody you love and not be interrupted.
Yeah.
Or be, take a photo taken of you as you're like mid-bite.
Yeah.
Things like that. So and it's not to that level at all for me, but
yes,
I think just seeing like a little glimpse of that is like, oh wow, it makes you understand what someone like Johnny has gone through mostly his whole life.
Right. And I'm sure, again, the bigger you get, the more criticism you get. Sure. And I'm sure that has also exponentially grown. How do you stay in a headspace of like not doubting yourself as much, knowing, you won the case, but you're still going to get a lot of criticism?
Yeah, we did. We got some criticism. But I think just focusing on the fact that I knew we were on the right side of this one.
Yeah.
And we did the best job for our client, right? We're service providers. That's what lawyers are. We are there to give our clients their voice in court or otherwise, and that's what we did for him. Mm-hmm. So, the criticism, it's always going to come. I use it to make me stronger, and not worry too much about what people think. You can't. Somebody once said to me when I was much younger, not everyone in life is going to like you, and that's okay.
Yeah. It's better to be respected than liked.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And prior to this, like you said, you've done other cases, things like that. We had Laura Wasser here yesterday, so big, of course, celebrity divorce attorney. And I asked her, how are those cases different than others? How could you elaborate on that? So how is a celebrity case different than a normal case?
Well, I think obviously with a celebrity case, you're going to get a lot more attention. And I think that's something that as lawyers, there's a transition that's happening, in my opinion. So I'm the head of now our brand and reputation management department at my firm. And I think we're seeing that, and it's a new practice area, right, of the firms. And we're seeing more and more corporate clients, high net worth, celebrity type clients asking for that service in conjunction with legal services. Right. And I think I can't underestimate how important I think that is, because you can win the court of law, but if you lose in the court of public opinion, you've lost. And clients are realizing this, and like I said, whether they're corporate or they're individuals, they're realizing that their brand and that their reputation is equally important to them. And if you can work in conjunction with PR or crisis managers, and you have the skills to be able to advise on statements and positioning and even client strategy and litigation strategy, I think that's something that I'm seeing a lot of clients asking for that.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. And you're young. I think we're actually the same age. And so you've got so much ahead of you. So what's next for Camille?
I'm really lucky I get to do what I love. I have now the luxury of picking and choosing certain cases that ring true to me and that I'd like to work on. So I just want to continue doing good work for people that I feel passionate about helping.
Yes, and how do you think you can expand even your mentorship? Like you said, so many people look up to you. Is there anything you're doing even within your own firm or anything? But how are you going to, I guess, even build your brand,
I think that, that's in the works, right? All of this has happened so overnight, but it's something that's really important to me. So, speaking at universities, speaking at law schools, I just participated last week at UCLA, hosted a mock trial for law schools across the country, and they actually was based on our case, they got a lot of smiles out of me, some of the facts of the case, and just being able to judge that competition and give these law students that are so incredibly impressive, a little bit of advice, right? And offer my mentorship, because I really do mean it. I mean, if someone is interested in having me mentor them or give them advice, I do take the time to respond to those emails and make those phone calls.
Absolutely.
And give back.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, from a very young age, you were instilled like very hard work, and you went through long hours with this, and I'm sure that will not be the last time, but what keeps you going? What motivates you?
I think being able to be the best advocate for my clients.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so important to me. I think that people utilize the legal system in this country usually during the worst times of their lives. Right? And it's not accessible. Mm-hmm. as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And we are that bridge.
Right.
We're the person that explains this complex system that's reserved for the educated and the ultra rich.
Right.
And I take that seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And outside of career, which I think is probably a large part of who you are, but who is Camille? Like, you said you're the, daughter of 2 immigrants, things like that. So who are you outside of your career and profession?
It's a great question. Who's Camille? I mean, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt. I take that really, that's the most special role that I have right now. I mean, my niece is 2.5 and the love of my life.
Yes.
There's no one more important in my life than her. I'm just a normal Southern California girl. I mean, yeah. I really am. I grew up, in a really middle class mm-hmm. family, and my parents would often say to my sister and me, we're not going to give you chores, but you do have to get good grades. Yeah, you've got one job. You got to go to school. You got to work really hard.
What do your parents think of this? I'm just sure this is all new to them as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, what happened? But my niece is the most important thing in everyone's lives. So it's,
yes,
I kind of used to be the favorite. And now my mom is she goes days without calling me.
Once there's kids, we don't matter anymore.
Exactly. She's like, I'm with Esme.
That's so funny. So if anyone in here is, they're thinking of a high-profile case, or they, what advice would you give them first to even landing a high-profile case?
I think you have to network, right? I mean, you have to network in the areas that you're interested in. So if you want to represent celebrities, then you have to start networking and working on cases that are connected to that. So IP is a great place to start. A lot of celebrities or high net worth individuals have IP, right. Trademarks, IPs. So I think that's a great place to start. Networking with even if you don't do IP, I think it's a way to start working with people that are in that industry.
Right.
It's networking and working really hard and making sure that the right people notice you.
Yeah. Is there anything you wish you knew before the trial?
Oh, yeah. Should have made everything really private. Instagram. Remove myself from all of that.
I can't tell you on all of our promotions for this event how many fan accounts you have on Instagram now. Literally, they are following this event and commenting when is Camille coming on? When is Camille coming on?
It's really sweet.
Yes.